In 1941, the Japanese released a zombie virus to win the war, but it spiraled out of control. Right at the start, we meet a squad of fresh recruits. These are really young guys, always joking around and having fun together. Their tough commander is far from impressed. He scolds the boys sharply, reminding them that a real battle is going on all around. The officer makes the soldiers quickly introduce themselves and take official photos for their documents. Once that's done, the young men line up and board the ship in an orderly fashion. On board, one of the soldiers gets distracted by a romantic rendezvous. The others watch curiously as the scene unfolds. Quick thinking, the guys even set up an impromptu ticket booth. For a small fee, they let others sneak a peek at the private meeting. The commanding officer soon discovers the chaos and erupts in anger, but the clever soldiers trap him in a net and dash away. At the same time, we follow the story of Thai Corporal Mek. He meets his beloved on the shore of the bay and receives wonderful news. She tells him she's expecting a child, and Mek lights up with joy. He gives her a ring and promises that soon, they'll build a real family together. Their tender embrace is interrupted by a panicked man. He warns that enemy cargo ships are appearing all across the bay. Mek must leave his fiancée immediately to serve his duty. Meanwhile, the enemy Japanese army is hatching a cunning plan to seize territory. They're working with a mysterious scientist. The scientist convinces the general that ordinary force won't be enough to win. He proposes testing a secret biological weapon to gauge its full power. On screen, we see chilling footage of a medical experiment. The researcher places a strange insect into the mouth of a test subject. The unfortunate man instantly transforms into an aggressive and extremely dangerous creature. The other officers are horrified, but the general is consumed by his thirst for victory, no matter the cost. Meanwhile, the Thai army is gathering every available force for a counterattack. One of the soldiers, Mok, the younger brother of Corporal Mek, returns home. His loving mother prepares a homemade meal, but their peace is short-lived. An officer arrives, demanding that Mok report to camp immediately. In desperation, the woman tries to protect her son. She's already lost her husband on the battlefield and doesn't want the same fate for her boys. But the officer reminds her that her husband was a traitor, and her sons will serve their country. She should be proud. His words bring little comfort. Mok attempts to escape through a back door, but Mek blocks his path. The officer asks the frightened young man where he's headed. Honest, Mok admits he just wants to hide from all these problems. He even suggests that Mek drop everything and run away with him. Mek reminds Mok that ever since childhood, he's always tried to avoid challenges. He urges his brother to find courage and face their destiny head-on. Mok bitterly replies that he doesn't want to fight someone else's battles. All he dreams of is living peacefully with his family, not defending a nation. But Mek insists that for him, it's one and the same. He convinces Mok that the country needs him now, and reveals that soon, he will become an uncle. After this difficult conversation, Mok overcomes his doubts. He decides to head to the front lines with his friends. In the jungle, fierce clashes erupt, explosions shake the earth. Young, inexperienced soldiers can't hold the line and retreat into the forest. Meanwhile, on the seashore, a mysterious crate left by the enemy opens. Inside lies the very creature created in the laboratory. Mok's squad plunges deeper into the forest, fleeing the relentless monster, but some soldiers don't make it. They fall victim to the creature. Terrified, the survivors begin acting strangely, their fear twisting into sheer panic and bone-chilling horror. Suddenly, Mok gets stuck in thick, sticky mud and starts to sink. He cries out desperately for help, and a hand reaches down to pull him free. Mok screams in terror as he realizes his rescuer is no longer human. The entire squad is turned into grotesque zombies. Meanwhile, leaders on both sides decide to negotiate, hoping to avoid unnecessary casualties among their troops. Thai soldiers survey the area where Mok's squad disappeared, and freeze in shock. They're confronted with the horrifying aftermath of the mysterious creatures in the forest. The creaking of swinging ropes draws the zombies from the undergrowth. Panic erupts as soldiers fire wildly in every direction. But the creatures move impossibly fast, vanishing and reappearing at will. The commander orders his unit to hunt them down, but suddenly, one of the monsters lunges at him. The soldiers watch in horror as the zombie devours their leader. Soon, countless more creatures surround them, attacking relentlessly, leaving no chance to survive. Meanwhile, Mek struggles to find his men amid the chaos, only to discover torn and scattered remains. Then, he finds a deep well, a sinister trap. Inside, he spots one of his loyal soldiers. Alarmed, Mek descends the rope, determined to help. But when the soldier turns around, Mek freezes, gripped by a terror he can't put into words. The soldier's face is horribly disfigured, and he has become an aggressive creature himself. Mek fights desperately to escape the well, trying to survive the insane zombie. He grabs a wooden stick to defend himself. Just as he's nearly climbing out, the horrifying zombie grabs his leg and drags him back down. Luckily, Mek seizes a burning branch from a fire above and uses it to set the monster ablaze, finally breaking free. Back at headquarters, shaken to his core, Mek reports the nightmare to the general. He describes the terrifying creature that tried to kill him. Everyone else thinks he might have seen a ghost, but Mek insists it was real, a living, flesh and blood monster that devours people. Meanwhile, on a clearing among the fallen soldiers, Mok begins to stir. He has now become one of those horrific zombies. A butterfly flutters by, and everything seems to slow down. Fragments of horrifying memories flood back. What he has done. Mok realizes the harm he has caused alongside the other monsters. He remembers the woman and her little daughter who suffered because of him. Overcome with unbearable pain, Mok lets out a long, anguished scream. Meanwhile, the scientist in the lab continues his observations. He's been studying the virus's effects on rats and notes their incredible strength. In the first group, the subjects were extremely aggressive and cannibalistic. But the second group, stronger, faster, kept some control, sparing their own kind. Mok and his transformed friends now feel a constant hunger. Among his belongings, he finds a locket with his photo and a picture of his mother. Despite the changes to his body, his heart can still feel. Mok gazes at the photo and begins to weep bitterly. Meanwhile, Mek returns to his beloved, who is working as a nurse in a field hospital. Anxiously, he asks if she has seen Mok. She can't offer any help, and Mek clings to the hope that his brother simply ran away, just as he wanted. But suddenly, their conversation is interrupted by a wounded soldier. He insists that Mok stayed with them until the very end. Mek demands the soldier help find his brother immediately, but their moment is cut short when the general arrives. The Japanese are requesting an urgent meeting. Thai and Japanese generals meet with the mysterious scientist. The researcher asks a chilling question: who is more loyal to their country, the one willing to sacrifice their life, or the one who wants to live for it? The Thai officer argues that a true patriot is someone ready to give up their life. The scientist counters that the nation benefits more from those who survive. He then reveals the creation of an extremely dangerous biological weapon. It becomes clear that the infected soldier was left on the shore intentionally. If a zombie can't kill its enemy, it turns them into one of its own. But now, the situation is spiraling out of control, and the monsters are attacking indiscriminately. The Japanese commander insists on keeping everything top secret and calls on the Thai forces to assist, since they know the terrain better than anyone. The zombies have now become a shared enemy. Meanwhile, Mok is consumed by unbearable guilt over his actions. He watches in horror as his fellow zombies tear into their prey. In despair, he grabs a pistol from one of the former soldiers and tries to take his own life, but suddenly, his body begins to smoke and burn in a strange, unnatural way. Another monster rushes to save him, cooling his burning skin with raw earth. It turns out that these creatures ignite when overwhelmed by emotional turmoil. They still carry deep human feelings. A group of transformed soldiers hides in a cave, scavenging food from the forest. They all lie partially buried in the ground, trying to cope with their emotional pain. Their leader keeps a photo of his family tucked in his pocket. Mok often cries, remembering happy moments with his mother and brother. He steps out of the cave and carefully cleans the cherished photo in a nearby stream. The group's leader also approaches the water, seeing an image of his wife, and is consumed by his emotions, burning completely. Meanwhile, Japanese soldiers capture one of the monsters named Kai. They lock him in an iron cage and subject him to brutal experiments. Mek is outraged by this treatment and demands the cruelty stop, but the scientist insists on continuing the experiments. In the cave, the other creatures share their unfulfilled dreams of a peaceful life. One wanted to become a lawyer, another dreamed of helping his father in a jewelry shop. Mok admits he wanted to write songs and novels. One of his companions asks him to sing, and soon everyone joins in, quietly singing along to a somber song. The enemy commander brings Kai's father to the cage and commits a horrifying act, taking his life right in front of his son. Mek flies into a rage at this needless brutality. He fights the enemy soldier, and the general dismisses Mek from the army for his defiant behavior. After Mek leaves, the Japanese commit another shocking atrocity against Kai. They release the poor zombie, forcing him to devour his own father. The monsters realize their comrade is missing and head to the village to search for him. The enemy leader is pleased with the virus's effects and suggests just waiting for the zombies to destroy each other. The scientist wants to keep all the creatures alive for further experiments, but the Japanese military has other plans. They decide to besiege the village, using the zombies' relatives as bait. Traps are set everywhere, waiting for the infected Thai group to appear. An atmosphere of fear and tension grips the village. At night, Mek's fiancée stops in the forest to fix her bicycle, but suddenly, a horribly deformed zombie emerges from the darkness. Soon, other creatures begin to enter the settlement, attacking the villagers. Among the monsters, a woman and her daughter recognize her husband and father, Sokka, who was once a priest. In horror, she grabs her daughter and tries to escape. Mek and Mok's mother prays for her younger son, unsure if he is still alive. Soon, Mek visits, assuring her that Mok survived and escaped, just as he wanted. She thanks him for the good news. Meanwhile, the transformed Mok hides near their home, listening to every word, unable to contain his emotions. Then Mek's fiancée rushes into the house, recounting the nightmare she witnessed in the forest. Alarmed, the officer immediately hands the mother a rifle, instructing her to shoot anyone who seems suspicious. He also tells her to stay close to the fire, which can protect her from zombies, and asks her to watch over his fiancée. Meanwhile, Sokka follows his family but shows no aggression toward them. Seeing that he means no harm, his daughter runs into his arms, and he gently strokes her head. The monster cries, revealing the last traces of his human soul. The Thai officers move to capture the transformed priest but stop, unwilling to interrupt this touching moment. Suddenly, enemy soldiers open fire. The soldiers miss their target, hitting Sokka's wife and daughter instead. Both fall silent forever, in front of their horrified father. The Thai commanders can no longer tolerate such cruelty toward their people. They move to protect the transformed soldiers from the Japanese. During the ensuing firefight, the Thai officers heroically fall. Mok finds his fallen commanders lifeless and weeps bitterly. Mek sees Mok near the bodies and mistakenly believes his brother is to blame. Refusing to listen to any explanation, he opens fire on him. Mok falls off a cliff, and Mek is plunged into deep sorrow and despair. But Mok returns, and in a surge of rage, attacks his brother, passing on the terrible curse that has infected him. Meanwhile, the scientist warns the son of the Japanese leader that the zombies may rise again. He realizes the virus could soon spread to millions and acknowledges that immediate action is necessary. The Japanese commander gathers the soldiers' families and shows them photos of the fallen Thai soldiers. The brother's mother and Mek's fiancé see Mok's photo and are stricken with grief. Everyone mourns, overwhelmed with pain and despair. Now, the enemy plans to destroy not only the infected but the entire Thai village to eliminate the threat of the virus spreading. The Thai soldiers are horrified by this inhuman tactic. Kai returns to the cave and reports that the Japanese have already slaughtered their loved ones. Mok suspects a trap, believing the Japanese are trying to lure them out. Mek accuses his brother of cowardice and rallies a team of zombies, setting out to save their family. At dawn, the Japanese force the villagers into an open area. Soldiers hide in ambush, ready to fire the moment their targets appear. When the monsters arrive to rescue their loved ones, chaos erupts in a storm of gunfire. The brother's mother and Mek's fiancé are gravely wounded. In desperation, Mek bites his beloved to keep her from leaving him forever. He orders Mok to bite their mother, but Mok refuses to condemn her to such a fate, letting her leave the world as a human. Soon, the enraged creatures break free from their cages and launch a full-scale attack. The Japanese leader's son also transforms, and his father kills him without hesitation. Then the commander hurls explosives into the zombie crowd and, along with his squad, retreats in a rush. Sometime later, on the cliffs, Mok condemns Mek's actions, believing that such a life for his fiancée is worse than any ending. But Mek is consumed by revenge. He wants to infect the entire village, punishing the Japanese who turned their lives into hell. One of his friends refuses to harm innocent people. In a fit of rage, Mek attacks him. Suddenly, Mek's fiancée shields a soldier and takes an accidental blow from her fiancé. She falls silent, and Mek now seems utterly indifferent to her fate. The officer eliminates anyone who opposes his cruel plan. Mok can hardly believe what kind of monster his brother has become. Meanwhile, the Japanese commander kills the scientist, erasing any evidence of his crimes. The next morning, Mok wakes in the forest, reliving the tragedies all over again. He sees the faces of his loved ones, and flames begin to engulf his body once more. Then he remembers Mek's words, that you cannot run from your problems. Gathering his resolve, Mok extinguishes the fire within himself. From the scientist's journals, the Japanese commander learns that the zombies ignite easily. He sends squads armed with flamethrowers to attack their hideout in the cliffs. But the monsters, led by Mek, lure the enemies into a trap, turning them into creatures like themselves. Only the top Japanese commander survives. He tries to hide in the mud, but the monsters find him there too. Now, he becomes part of the very army he created. All the monsters pursue their new comrade, heading toward the cave's exit. But Mok blocks their path, wielding a powerful Japanese flamethrower. Mek glares at his brother in fury, but soon recalls their true duty, to protect humans. He gives Mok a final soldier's salute. With tears in his eyes, Mok directs the flames at his friends and his brother. Remembering the happy days by the sea, he throws himself into the fire. Yet, from the scientists' records, it's revealed that the new virus allows the creatures to regenerate even from ashes. The nightmare could return at any moment. So, who do you think the true monsters are in this story? The zombies? Or the people who created them? Was Mok's final sacrifice the right choice, or could he have found another way to protect the world from the virus? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more. See you in the next video.